This is the Spray Force 2014 Excalibur Hydra. I'm going to go over the basic startup procedures today. When the scheduled maintenance has been done as directed in the owner's manual, it is now okay to start and use your Excalibur Hydra. This is our throttle and our fuel shutoff for the 2 and the 3M HOTS diesel motors. Prior to starting the motor, pull the throttle lever up about halfway. The ignition switch is located below the hour meter. Insert the key, turn to the right, and start. This is the grease zerk station for the Excalibur Hydra. All lubrication will be done on a daily basis at this station. It's located next to the exhaust at the front of the engine compartment. This is the operator's control panel for the Excalibur Hydra pump. This is the Excalibur Hydra flow control for the RPM of the pump. What you see now is in the off position. Turn it counterclockwise to increase the RPM of the pump. This is the Excalibur Hydra on-off remote switch. In the position it now is in, pushed all the way in, the pump is off. When I pull out the switch to the middle position, the nozzle man now has control. And if he was to turn it on, the light would illuminate. I can make the light illuminate in this last position, which is control at the pump. It now turns on the machine for use. When I turn it all the way off, we're back in the off position. This is the Excalibur Hydra supplemental oiler tank. When you go to use the machine during the day, you want to turn it about 1/8 of a turn on each side. If you turn it past 1/8 of a turn, the oil will drain too quickly throughout the day. You don't want to do this. Make sure you turn it no more than 1/8 of a turn. At the end of the day, it's important that you turn these back off or the oil tank will drain again. This is the Excalibur Hydra Quick Fill. It is standard issue on all Excalibur mobile pumps. It is shown in the on position. It's enough water to do one batch of material. When you turn it on for one batch, the water flows. When it goes down to regular hose pressure, you want to turn it off immediately. We've just completed showing you a batch of material worth of water. You want to leave this in the off position until you're ready to bring the material up to consistency you're ready to dump into the hopper. This is our 1010 mixer on the mobile Excalibur Hydra pump. When you turn the mixer on, it will illuminate the light. The light is now on, which means the blades will be turning when the machine is running. Back to the bottom is off. In order to dump the Excalibur Hydra 1010 mixer, you pull it down on the handle toward the hopper and the mud will start to flow. This is the 1010 mixer flow control. It is presently in the off position. In order to speed up the blades, we want to turn it to the left, which would be counterclockwise. As I continue to turn it to the left, the RPM will increase on the mixer. To decrease the mixer RPM, turn it clockwise. The Excalibur Hydra trailer fender has been removed for ease of conversation at the moment. I will now go over a few safety features of the Excalibur Hydra manifold. This is the necessary safety chain. It wraps around the center section of the manifold. This device will now go over the hose, and then you'll release it when the hose goes on, so if the hose was ever to be taken off, it will restrict the action of the hose. This is our Excalibur Hydra pressure relief valve. It's in the position that we can pump from. When we're going to remove the hose, the material hose, we want to move this lever to the front. It releases the rubber stopper from the bottom and the material will flow out of the bottom, removing the pressure from the hose. Put it back to the lock position when you're ready to pump again. At the bottom of this device there's a brass fitting that holds, it restricts a rubber ball at the fitting. If the hose is ever to reach a pressure above 800 pounds it will eject the ball from the fitting. The Excalibur manifold is in a position now to start pumping. This is the Excalibur Hydra electrical remote cord. It has a twist lock plug on the end. This is the air line for the atomization at the nozzle. These both need to be plugged into the machine to operate the nozzle. The air line is installed just like that. It's now secure and it's ready to pump air. The twist lock plug, match up the prongs, push it in, turn it to the right, it's now locked. To take it back off, turn it to the left, and we can remove it. One more time. In, turn to the right, locked. There's some maintenance items and some safety features on the 1010 mixer that we'll discuss quickly here. This is a gravity lock. When you dump the mixer forward, it's designed to fall forward so this cage cannot be removed. It's critical that you do not remove this cage at any time during the operations of the mixer. This is our 1010 mixer. There are 6 grease zerks on this mixer. There's 3 on this side, the operator side, and there's 3 on the motor side of this mixer. 1 squirt per day minimum in each of these grease zerks. These 3 and on the opposite side as well. Be careful not to over grease because it's not going to help it in any way. So 1 good squirt, 1 good squirt, 1 good squirt. In preparing to use the mixer and the pump, remove this pin, drop the jack stand to the bottom, and replace the pin. Now your mixer is ready to operate. This is a large socket. It's a 3/4 inch drive and it's a 35 millimeter. You can use an 1 3/8 socket. I'm going to remove the manifold from the Excalibur Hydra. My 35 millimeter socket to the bolt, where I can start to turn it with my fingers. Loosen all nuts. Remove the PT coupler belt. Place it on the ground. Remove the stinger. Make sure that you have something in the inside of the hopper that would prevent the material from flowing out, if there's material in the hopper still, when you remove this manifold out in the field. Remove all bolts, all nuts, excuse me. This is a quick release lever. It's the last one. We've replaced one of the nuts that used to be down here with this, what we call a quick release. It needs to go to the left. It's now clear. I can pull the manifold off. I'm going to set it on the ground. It weighs about 100 pounds, so I can readjust my body, and then I'm going to lift it up and over the frame. I've now removed the Excalibur Hydra manifold, and it is now being laid on the ground for service. Inside this manifold, there's 2 balls and 2 seats. That's a ball stop and that's a ball stop. At another time we'll discuss service to this particular manifold. Now I will replace the Excalibur Hydra manifold on the machine. Spot the 3 studs on the Excalibur Hydra manifold, then lift the manifold up and line it up, like so. Push the manifold back, grab the quick release, I generally will take and pull the quick release a little bit there, and then I'll grab my 3 nuts and I'll start hand threading them, like so. Put all 3 bolts on the studs and continue to finger tighten them until you need to use the wrench when I have them all the way tight. Now I want to get them as tight as I can before I grab the wrench. And what I like to do is I like to take the center one and start at the center when I do get the wrench. So I'm going to start my wrench here at the center stud. One of the questions is how much weight do I put into it? And I generally will take and push all my body weight into the handle, and once I've done that, I'm pretty happy with how tight it is at the moment. Finger tighten these again. Now I can jump over to one of those and I'll alternate. I'll tighten this up and I'll go back to the far left and I'll tighten that one up. Body weight again. And I'll check all three of them again. So I seat it normally. A little loose, tightened. That one's pretty tight. And I just secure my quick release and we're done.